Hello, once again, this is Antonio, and I'm coming at you with another exciting video. Now, think about this. You're married. You already have 8 children at home with your wife. You tell the courts that you only make $700 a month, but you know they have a funny way of finding out how much money you make. It comes to find out that you make $12,000 a month. Now, a lot of men need to have, and I hate to say this, I hope I'm not being crass, but a lot of men got to have penis discipline. Now, I know this probably be like, oh, why are you attacking men? No, I'm not attacking men. I have done close to 40 court videos, and I can tell you the vast majority of the time, the leniency is still on mom, right? Even if mom is dead wrong, it's still the leniency is on mom. So dads got to start thinking and protecting themselves, especially when you already married. You shouldn't be tiptoeing out the house, and if you're going to do that, wear a condom. All right. So that's enough of me ranting and raving about how I feel about this case. Nevertheless, let's go ahead and dive in, share my screen, and I want you to give your commentary on how do you feel about this. Let's rock.
What is your job title?
Financial specialist.
And as part of your job duties, do you have access and information from employers regarding our customers' wages?
Yes.
And do you have that information for Mr. Everett?
Yes, I do.
And so what was his monthly gross?
Monthly goals is $12,133.25.
Whoa. Let's be honest about it, Mr. Everett. I mean, you testified that you make $3,500 over 2 weeks, but your employer told the state of Texas that you made over $145,000 last year. That's a lot more than 35. That's a lot more than 3,500 every 2 weeks. That's not what you said before. Before you said you didn't want back child support in this case because you didn't think that Mr. Everett could afford it. Now you're changing your mind in regards to that.
We did talk about she was going to waive the back child support. For whatever reason, she done changed her mind because of the living conditions. You know, she done waived it. She done said she wants the back child support. I don't, God forbid, what that's going to be. But anyway, Deja has already moved to Houston, and I disagree with the fact that I disagree with the fact that she's already.
I need to get this addressed right now. Is that true, Miss Randall? Have you already moved to Houston?
I have, and then I have not moved there.
Miss Randall, that's a pretty simple question, and it only requires a yes or no answer. Do you or do you not live in Houston? Miss Randall, you don't get to have all of it. Okay? You don't get to live where you want to live in violations of the laws of this county that I practice in, that I'm the judge, that I'm one of the judges in. But then move off somewhere else and hope that I'm going to continue to hit Mr. Everett for max child support and max retroactive child support. You can't have both. So what I've just done. You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Everett, I've just placed on the screen a copy of the alleged DNA test results in regards to the child journey. Is it okay if I see these results?
Yes.
State's Exhibit A is admitted into evidence.
So he is the father?
That's what the DNA test results show. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
You know how many other children he may have under the age of 8?
I don't make it a habit on stopping my videos, but on this case, I got to stop this video. This is a trifling woman. She didn't even know who impregnated her. She did not even know who impregnated her. So in hindsight, this is already despicable. She's not truthful. She's not a truthful person. And she did not know who impregnated her. And I just think that is she's starting off this case as a genuine person. But I won't keep stopping it, but I had to say that.
18 besides Journey?
If maybe 2, because I don't. It's some stuff that I don't know. So maybe 2.
Now, are you asking for back child support?
No, I don't want to do the back child support because he said he cannot afford to do the back child support.
Okay.
Bendron Avery.
Where do you work?
I work with Indorama Ventures.
And how long do you work there?
Ma'am, I didn't hear you.
How long have you worked there?
Right at 4.5 years, something like that.
And how much do you make an hour?
I make $3,500 every 2 weeks, gross.
And does that include your overtime?
I don't have any over. That's straight 40-hour weeks. I work from 6:30 to 3 every day.
Okay, and you don't make any
And
overtime.
we made overtime. We had it freeze, and the plant was down. The lady was explaining to me that she got me down for making $6,000 a month. I wish to God I was making $12,000 a month. I wish I was making $12,000 a month. And I can get a letter from my employer stating that we are not operators. I'm just a craftsman. I have a craftsman job that we work from 6:30 to 3. We don't work 12-hour days like the operators do out here. Operators are the ones that get all the overtime and all that because they on shift work. We only work from 6:30 to 3. And the only time we do get overtime if the plant go down or if like this freeze happened. We all hands was on deck to get this plant back up and running. And I showed Deja my check stub where I had made a decent amount of money that month.
Do you have medical insurance available for this child?
Yes, that was one of our things. All my kids.
How much would that cost for you to add the child to your insurance?
I'm not sure. I'm paying like $350 right now. I'm not sure how much would it be. $350 to $300 right now.
And is that a month?
I don't think that would be like they take that out. They take right at $300 every paycheck out my check on insurance.
Okay. And how often? How often do you get paid?
Bi-weekly. I get twice a month.
And how many other people are on that insurance?
6, 7, right? 8 of my other kids. They are over 8. I mean, I got 2 that's under 8. That's 12 and 13. I got my 18-year-old, and I got my 17-year-old, and I got a 16-year-old on my insurance, and myself. What is that? That's about 7 of us, and my wife.
So 8 total?
Yes.
And how many of those 8 are under the age of 18?
Not including my wife, it's 6 of them. Let's see, 1, 2.
How many children do you have under the age of 18 that are not included in this order?
6 children.
And all of those are under the age of 18?
Yes, including Journey, yes.
Okay, but I was asking that aren't in this order. So not in this order, you have 7 other.
Not in this order. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids.
Okay, so you have 5 children, not including Journey.
Why is Miss Randall in this camera making all these dumb faces? You didn't even know this man was the father of that child until 5 minutes ago. You didn't even know this man was the real father of your child. Now you're in the camera making all these faces. You didn't even know he was married. You didn't know none of this stuff. You just yap.
that are under the age of 18?
Yes.
Okay. And do all of those children live with you?
Two of them do.
And then,
The rest, the other two, they sometimes they visit me at my apartment and down here.
okay, so 2 children live with you, and then you have 3 others. Are you ordered by a court to pay child support for those other 3?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I don't have anything further of Mr. Randall. I'd like to call Ms. Finch.
Go ahead.
Ms. Finch, can you state your name, please?
Sabrina Finch.
And you work for the Office of the Attorney General?
Yes, ma'am.
And how long have you worked for them?
A couple of years.
And what is your job title?
Financial specialist.
And as part of your job duties, do you have access and information from employers regarding our customers' wages?
Yes.
And do you have that information for Mr. Everett?
Yes, I do.
And what quarters have you looked at for his wages?
First quarter of 2021, fourth quarter of 2020, third quarter of 2020, and second quarter of 2020, 12 months.
Okay, in the second quarter of 2020, how much did he make?
He made $38,633.50.
Whoa.
No.
I need Miss Finch.
For that quarter. I'm sorry.
No, I just heard 3 different figures.
No, I'm sorry. I was trying to think. For the second quarter of 2020, he made $34,822.58.
And for the third quarter of 2020, how much did he make?
$40,563.71.
And for the fourth quarter of 2020, how much did he make?
$31,356.36.
And the first quarter of 2021, how much did he make?
$38,858.26.
And so what was his total gross for the last 12 months?
Total gross was just to round it off, it was $145,599.
And so what was his monthly gross?
Monthly gross is $12,133.25.
And so would his net fall under the maximum net of 9,200?
Yes, the net was $8,911.69.
Okay, so it's under the 9,200.
Right.
Were you able to determine what the child support would be, or did you know how many other children he had?
Well, when I spoke with Mr. Everett, the impression that I received was that he had 3 children on another case, but one of those children had emancipated on his other child support case. And then the 2 children that are in the home with him, I was under the impression that those were stepchildren. I didn't calculate those in.
Okay.
So I was under the impression that those weren't his biological children. So he only had 2 other children that he's currently paying child support for. So that's the basis of my calculations. On the health insurance, he wasn't able to tell me how much he was paying. He actually indicated he had 9 people on there, and this child would be the 10th individual insurance. So I wasn't able to calculate the insurance, but based on our discussion, I came up with a monthly amount of $1,425.87.
Okay. Thank you. I have nothing further of this witness, Your Honor. I would like to recall Mr. Averett to ask him about whether or not those children are his or if they're stepchildren.
Go ahead.
Mr. Averett, are the children living in your home your biological children?
Yes, ma'am. They're my biological children.
Okay, they're not stepchildren.
No, ma'am.
And then your 3 children in your other order, is one of those children already 18?
Yes, ma'am. He just turned 18 this year.
Okay, so you just have 2 other children that are not living with you, that are under the age of 18?
Yes, ma'am.
So a total of 4.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Your Honor, I have nothing further.
Call your next witness.
I have no further witnesses, Your Honor.
I have a question.
I'll get right to you, Ms. Randall. Let me ask some questions first, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Averett, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Mr. Averett, when Miss Finch testified, she seemed to indicate that the 2 children that are living with you in your apartment were your stepchildren. Why do you think she would come up with that?
I guess she must have misunderstood what I was saying.
All right. So those 2 children that are in your apartment, those that live with you, those are your biological children. Is that correct?
Yes, I got 2 biological children that lives with me.
All right. And where is the mother of those 2 children?
In Louisiana.
Okay. And how old are those children?
12 and 13.
Huh. So they're there in the apartment by themselves during the day while you're working?
No, they're with their mother.
Oh, but their mother's in Louisiana.
Yes.
Okay. So, Mr. Averett, you said that that you make your gross is $3,500 every 2 weeks. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Huh. But you do make a lot more than that because of whatever additional circumstances you get paid for from your company, right?
Yeah, that's like in catastrophic things go on in the area, tornadoes or freezes like happen and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, let's be honest about it, Mr. Averett. I mean, you testified that you make $3,500 every 2 weeks, but your employer told the state of Texas that you made over $145,000 last year. That's a lot more than 35. That's a lot more than 3,500 every 2 weeks.
Wow.
Well, like I said, I can get a letter from my employee stating what I'm saying today.
The problem is, Mr. Averett, is that your employer has already told the Attorney General's office what they paid you last. Ms. Randall,
yes, sir.
Please don't say anything else while I'm talking to Mr. Averett, okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. But they told me also that if I needed to show the court a letter, they would write a letter stating that that don't happen here all the time for us in my department to make overtime like that.
Well, I completely understand that, Mr. Averett, but I mean, those were your wages for the last 12 months is what your employer told the AG's office, right? I mean, there's no guarantee, Mr. Averett, that you're going to make that kind of money in the future. I get it. But that is the income that you had last year, right?
Yeah, based on overtime, yes.
Okay. I do understand. I do understand, Mr. Averett, that overtime is not guaranteed, but you need to understand, sir, that your income is what it is, and it's what I'm required to set child support on. not what you think you might make in the future, but what you have made in the past. I don't have to guess, Mr. Averitt, at what you made last year. I would have to guess what you're going to make next year.
So I showed Deja 2 months of paychecks where I only brought $1,800, $2,000, $1,600 a month. I mean, a bi-weekly home, take-home pay.
Well, Mr. Averitt, the only problem with what your paycheck shows is your take-home pay is that you're already paying child support for other children in the state of Louisiana, right?
State of Texas.
Oh, the other 2 children are in the state of Texas too?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you see, that's already coming out of your check. Do they take money out of your check for retirement?
Yes.
See, all of those things, Mr. Averitt, you're not supposed to get credit for except for a computation calculation that I'm supposed to use according to the statute. You don't get credit for that stuff. Just because that's what you're taking home, that doesn't mean what you make. You could jack up your income taxes, Mr. Averitt, and have a whole lot of money taken out of your check every 2 weeks to hide tax money from me. It's just not going to work because I already have the calculation running.
Only thing I had coming out of my check is 401k, and that was only $300. Okay. That was it. Now I'm about to cut. I mean, that's the only thing coming out of my check. Everything else is federal tax, Social Security, Medicaid taxes, dental, life insurance for my kids, medical expenses, vision. That's all of that stuff is coming out of my check. There's nothing else pertaining to benefit me coming out of my check, but just that little 401k.
Okay.
That's it.
What?
Now I can show you that on paper. There's nothing that I'm hiding from anything. I work every day like, you know, the normal person do. But what's going to happen if I don't know what the outcome of this is going to be, is that I don't want to be a type of person that be in arrears based on the other case that I have as well. If it is going to be like that, it's going to need to be some modification. It's going to need to be modified.
How much is your child support in the other case, Mr. Averitt?
I pay $700 and it's $800, almost $1,800 a month. It's $758, sometime a little bit more than that. Okay. Every 2 weeks to come out my check for those kids, for my kids there.
What? Miss Randall, did you have anything else that you wanted to offer?
Yes, I had a few questions that I had that I needed answered, if it can be answered. The first question I had was how much monthly is he supposed to be paying for Journey? How much monthly?
According to my calculations, it's $1,435. That's what I calculated at.
Okay. I'm listening to you and everybody else, and he showed me his check stub. So, but you guys are saying that it's like it's more. So it's like I'm like confused right now.
Miss Randall, let me see if I might be able to explain it to you. I don't guess when it comes to the numbers. I just listen to the testimony and then I base child support on what the evidence is. And the evidence is that Mr. Averitt earned over $145,000 last year. So while I understand Mr. Averitt's concerns that he may not make that much money in the future, I don't have anything but the ability to guess at what he might make in the future. I know what he made last year, and I can base child support on what he made last year because that's what's been reported.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
yes, sir.
I can't set child support on what might happen in the future because I don't have any idea what the numbers would be.
Yes, sir.
In fact, Mr. Averitt's child support is not even being, if I set child support at the number that I set it at, that's not even the max because he makes more money than that. I'm only going to set child support on the $9,200 a month net that he's reporting from his employer. He actually makes more than that. And I don't know where the money goes. That's none of my business. But I know his employer reported more money than that last year.
Yes, sir.
So I have another
So you saying I make?
Mr.
So
Avery.
you saying I got a
Mr.
question?
Avery.
I have a question.
Mr. Avery,
Yeah.
I didn't ask you any more questions. Please don't interrupt me when I'm talking to Miss Randall.
I'm sorry.
Miss Randall, you said that you wanted to move to Houston. Why do you think you should be allowed to go to Houston?
I had wanted to start over and be closer to my family. I have family out there, which I have family out here too, where I'm at as well. But the family that I'm closer to is out there in Houston, and I would like to be closer and just, you know, better opportunities a little bit. So that's why I wanted to move.
Well, that may be. The problem is that Mr. Everett is entitled to time with Journey. Right?
Yes, sir.
And if I let you move to Houston, then that's going to have a negative impact on Mr. Everett's ability to spend time with Journey, because based on his work schedule, he might find it difficult trying to go back and forth to see the child if he has to go all the way to Houston and pick up the child. You understand?
Yes, sir.
So that's the reason why there's a rule in place that prohibits you from doing exactly what it is that you want to do. Now, if you had some great reason for moving to Houston, if somebody had offered you some wonderful job over there, or you had gotten some scholarship at a college somewhere and you needed to move there to go to school, that might be a different story. But just because you need a change of scenery, whether it's the right way for you to go or not, that's not sufficient for me to allow you to move to Harris County. Mr. Everett, what if I discounted your child support if you let Miss Randall move to Houston? Would you be agreeable to that?
What do you mean by that?
Well, you'd be responsible, Mr. Everett, for driving back and forth to Harris County to see your child. I would give you a discount on the child support based on the fact that you would have to absorb the travel cost. Would you be willing to allow that to happen?
Yes. What would how much a discount you're talking about? Because
I don't know. If you were going to spend time with Journey, it'd probably be pretty substantial, since you're going to have to be driving about, I don't know. If you live in Port Arthur, depending on what part of Houston she moves to, it could be as much as 3 or 4 hours back and forth.
Yes, it is.
Is that something that you think you might be amenable to, Miss Randall?
I want to move, but I don't see, the problem is right now is I'm doing this for my daughter. I'm doing this for my daughter. And another thing is too, I don't want to put her dad, which is who you guys are talking to, I don't want to put him in a bind. And I'm doing this so I can have a better life and my child can have a better life. I don't know if he's gonna come down there like how you guys are saying that he needs to be down the 1st, the 5th. I don't know if he's gonna do that, because it's so much stuff that be going on. It's like too much. So I'm not even sure if he's gonna do that or not.
Right. Okay.
And I'm just being honest. I'm not being rude. I don't even know if he's gonna follow through with this.
Miss Randall, you're not being rude. You are being honest, and I do appreciate it. Okay. I mean, she's almost 3, right?
Yes, sir. She's almost 3. Her birthday's in August.
August, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Well, you heard the figures, Miss Randall, $1,435. Do you think that's what I saw to set child support at? I mean, Mr. Everett had said something when we got started on this hearing that he thought you and he had worked something out. Did y'all work out a figure for child support?
Yes, but we did work something out. But now that I'm listening, and you guys went over the wages and stuff like that, I'm like, I'm still like kind of, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. So
I get it.
you
That's
get
fine.
it. You
I
get
do.
it.
I get it.
Let me see. Okay. Yeah.
Mr. Averett, you said that the two children that you have with the other lady in Louisiana, she keeps them during the day most of the time, but you have them on a pretty regular basis.
Yes, sir.
And you spend time with them, you see them.
Yes, yes, all the time.
And you support them. You give the mother money to support the children.
Yes, yes, I do.
Anything else, Miss Overstreet?
No, Your Honor.
Miss Randall, I'll get with you, Mr.
No.
I promise. Miss Randall, is there anything else about this case you think I need to know about before I make a ruling?
I had a few other I had a few other questions. Well, not any other questions. So he do have visitation, like he can come. Do I have to stay here, or like do I have to stay here in Port Arthur?
Yes, ma'am, you do. Does that mean
Really?
are you, Miss Randall, that doesn't mean that you can't travel, but the child will live in Jefferson County or a county that touches Jefferson County unless Mr. Averett agrees to allow you to move or the district judge agrees to allow you to move. That's the problem that you have when you have a child that's born in this county. That's their rule, Miss Randall. I didn't make it. I'm just one of the judges that enforces it. Okay?
Yes, sir. I understand. I had one more question.
Sure.
The question I had was, so I have to.
I'm surprised this judge haven't disciplined her for having that child in court. Even though this is a Zoom session, you shouldn't have children in your court. And this judge has been plenty lenient on this mother. Now, what she's about to do, she's about to try to walk back and ask for back child support. But she's very deceptive because guess what? She already moved away from the father.
Stay here. Are you guys gonna ask for? Is he gonna visit her more than what you guys said for him to visit, like the 1st and the 5th and all that?
No, it's going to be in the order that he has visitation as per the standard possession order, Miss Randall, if I rule that way. And that means that Mr. Averett would have the 1st, 3rd, and 5th weekend of each month. Every other holiday, 30 days in the summer, and then every Father's Day weekend. It amounts to about 40% of the year.
So he have to visit her with. He don't have to.
Nope. I give him the rights to see the child, Miss Randall, but I can't force him to be a good dad. I can force him to pay the child support and I can force him to pay the medical support, but I can't force him to be a good parent. I don't have that ability. It's way outside the realm of what I can do. Okay?
Okay. I have one more question.
Yes, ma'am.
So since I can't move, how the young lady that I spoke to earlier, she asked me that I want to do back pay.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I pick a certain amount of back pay that I would like to do?
No, ma'am. Do you think that Mr. Avery should pay you retroactive child support?
Mommy, let's finish. Let's finish. I just spit out. Whoa. You okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's not what you said before. You said you didn't want back child support in this case because you didn't think that Mr. Avery could afford it. Now you're changing your mind in regards to that? Ms. Brown-Zito, I don't need any comments from you whatsoever in regards to this case. If you continue to make facial recognition movements in regards to this video, I'm going to remove you from my courtroom. Ms. Randall, are you saying now that you've changed your mind and you would like some retroactive child support in this case?
Whoa.
Yes.
Okay. Why do you think now that you should get retroactive child support after you've already said that you didn't want it?
Because he won't. Because I'm trying to work. Okay, this is why I feel some type of way. Because I don't like holding nothing in. But I'm trying to work with him. I'm working with him, and I'm trying to do what's best for my daughter at the same time. So I'm working with him and trying to do what's best for Journey. I need him to work with me as well too.
Okay.
And I don't feel like he's working with me right now. He's not saying enough. I need him, and I know he's listening to me. I need him to say.
Well, I mean, again, Ms. Randall, I don't think that there's anyone in this courtroom that's going to be able to alleviate your fears as far as what Mr. Averett may or may not do in the future. I just, whether he tells you or doesn't tell you that he's going to be a good dad for Journey, that's his personal decision that he's going to have to make.
Yes, sir. I'm aware of that. I'm aware. I understand. It's not that. It's just that I'm also doing this for my daughter, and I'm also trying to look out as well. And I need him to look out for me as well too. And I don't feel like he's looking out for me like I'm looking out for him.
Okay. Well, it's not always a two-way street, Miss Randall. That's for sure.
Can I speak now, or?
I was just making sure. Is that all you need? That everything that you wanted me to hear, Miss Randall?
Yes, right now at the moment, yes, sir.
Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Averett. Is there anything else you think I need to know about this case before I make a ruling?
Yes. We did talk about she was going to waive the back child support. For whatever reason, she done changed her mind because of the living conditions. You know, she done waived it. She done said she wants the back child support. I don't, God forbid what that's going to be. But anyway, Deja has already moved to Houston. And I disagree with the fact that I disagree with the fact that she's already in Houston.
I need to get this addressed right now. Is that true, Miss Randall? Have you already moved to Houston?
I have, and then I have not moved there.
Ms. Randall, that's a pretty simple question, and it only requires a yes or no answer. Do you or do you not live in Houston?
No, I don't. I don't stay there.
What is your current address?
My current address is 3.
Just give me the city and the street.
Okay, 311 North Vista Drive.
And where is that? What city?
Houston, Texas, Harris County.
Okay.
Harris County.
Thank you, Miss Randall. Is there anything further from the state of Texas?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Overstreet, your case is dismissed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
There will be no child support. There will be no medical support. There will be no visitation. There will be no finding that Mr. Averett is the father. The mother has moved and changed residences to Harris County. And if a new lawsuit will have to be filed in this case, it will have to be filed in Harris County.
Can you repeat that, sir?
I've denied the state's motion for child support, medical support, visitation, and custody of the child, Ms. Randall. You no longer live in Jefferson County, and therefore this county no longer has jurisdiction to hear your case.
Sir, I stay.
You will have to have it, Ms. Randall. Ms. Randall, you don't get to have all of it. Okay? You don't get to live where you want to live in violations of the laws of this county that I practice in, that I'm the judge, that I'm one of the judges in, but then move off somewhere else and hope that I'm going to continue to hit Mr. Averett for max child support and max retroactive child support. You can't have both. So what I've just done, I've dismissed the state suit. And if anyone is dissatisfied with my ruling, you have 3 days which to appeal. Your appeal must be in writing.
If your old AC system is
Okay, so all right. I didn't say a doggone word just now. The mom played us up, right? She played us up. The whole time she thought that she was winning and it was checkmate. It was checkmate. She was deceptive from the word go. Now, unfortunately for the father, he will be able to be retried in another county, which is Houston. But the judge told her she couldn't leave. She already left. And then she lied in open court. I don't live in Houston. What's your address? She gave her Houston address. In the words of Fred G. Sanford, you big dummy. Once again, hit the notification bell. Thank you for all my new subscribers. And once again, we'll see you in the next video.